Fire's coming!
You should always have at least 1 or 2 people at the gate itself. This way, should you mistime any of the Molotovs, they are waiting there to clear up the mess. But please, if you're up top, don't stand on the edge, otherwise that happens. If you're fortunate enough to be on a server that has crawling enabled, it is just about possible to rescue them. If they can crawl to where the hole is, you can help them up through it. The majority of servers do not allow this, and therefore you're almost certainly dead, and it's rather difficult to survive in front of the gate, even if you are helped up. If you're at the gate itself, your main job, once the Molotovs are all used, is to keep using the gas cans. This will keep the fire going longer, and make your job a lot easier, rather than having to keep shooting. If you're up top and have an automatic weapon, or a sniper, you can continue to do this, and mainly you should focus on the special infected. Make sure you keep spacing the gas cans out so that they're not wasted. If you need an extra Molotov, you can go out to the left, press the action button to open the door, and you'll find a Molotov here. If you want some fun, you can jump in front of the gate. Once you reach the 14th minute, you need to think about the next retreat, because at 15 minutes, the gate will breach and the zombies will flood in from both sides of the map. If you have spare gas cans, bring them with you, as they can be useful for the next area. Don't spend too long trying to bring all of them if you have a lot, and you're too short on time. There's 2 more gas cans to the left of the door, as you can see here. Position them just off the gate, but not in front of it. Then make your way round, so that you're in a good place to take out the witch. This is just my preference as I'm using a sniper, but if you have a shotgun you can crone her, or take her out in any other way you want. In the wooden piece above that archway, there's some gas cans there. That can help you buy some time. Above this doorway, there is another overhead area, also containing gas cans and explosives. But what should you do if you've lost the gate early? Well, first of all, you should retreat immediately. Take any gas cans you have time for, but you must be quick. Move the gas cans and yourself over to this area here. By being here, you've got your back just about covered, and you've got a bottleneck where the zombies can only come from 2 sides. You can use the fire in that archway as shown in the previous clip, and there's also an explosive barrel where Rochelle is there. Smokers are able to get you from where that barrel is, and they will climb up from that side, so be aware of this. But if all 4 of you are in this position, it can be defended quite efficiently. However, if you've lost the gate almost immediately as you've arrived at it, so say 8 minutes, you'll struggle to survive to the 15 minutes, as tanks are very quickly on the scene, and often there's 2 at once.
Reload!
Make use of the gas cans by throwing them into the courtyard and setting fire with them as much as you need to. But don't waste them in the same way you shouldn't at the gate. Once you're almost on 15 minutes, you need to make your way towards the door. You're going to struggle to have enough time and space to take out the witch, so you're going to have to run round her. It's just about possible for 1 person to run past her. The cooldown time is often too long for anyone else to make it though. So once you're inside, the best thing to do is grab a Molotov and throw it at her, and then she'll come after you. You can run around in the armory and the hallway until she dies. There's another dead player teleportation lever in the hallway, but you'll need to balance this with keeping the doorway covered. Now you get to see why we did all the preparation at the start in the armory. We can now get to all the frag rounds that people usually deploy in the armory and deploy them out in the hall. But why couldn't we have just deployed them in the armory and gone in there to get them? Well, the armory gets blocked off a little later, as you'll see, so it's far more useful to have them out here. This is the same reason why we moved the guns to where they are. From here, you now just need to hold the hall, keep the bottleneck in the doorway, and isolate the tanks by keeping the fire going when they're on their way. You'll need to do this until 20 minutes. At 20 minutes, the armory will be blocked, and you'll see Legolas run round the corner just prior. See him there? As he gets into the armory will be blocked, and the horses will not let you through. Keep isolating the tanks when they're on their way by throwing the Molotovs into the doorway. This way, all the common infected will just burn up, and so you'll be able to handle the tank alone. Another thing I see players often do at this point is chase up the stairs. You really don't need to do this yet, and it's very annoying I find, because you lose the best bottleneck, and a lot of the resources that you moved in the first place are down here, so why go away from them? Stay at the back of the hall and keep shooting up until you really need to retreat. As you progress past 20 minutes, you may well start to run out of Molotovs, in which case you are going to have a harder time dealing with tanks, especially when there's multiple of them. Just make sure you do the standard practice for how to defend each other when you're playing Left 4 Dead. Stand in front, cover, and help people up as you need to. Also, don't be stingy with your medkits. If someone needs it, let them have it. There are 2 more medkits available in the hall. From where we're defending at the back facing the doorway, go up to it and go immediately to your left. You'll see them. Once you get into the 24th minute, you need to start thinking about your final retreat. Ideally, you should wait until you get the console message and the blinding light on screen to indicate the sun rising, but this isn't always possible, especially not if you're playing with bots. You just now need to make your way around, hopefully dodging the tanks and the zombies. It's very difficult to rescue people that are in cap now, especially if you don't have any grenades. Unfortunately, Nation Kid here gets caught. It's not realistically possible for me to save him. Make your way up the stairs now, and to the end of the room.
I got a chain gun here.
Just past the 25-minute marker, the sun rises here. The door will break, and you can make your way up the stairs.
Man, I hate them things. Coach!
Once you reach the top, after a few moments you'll be teleported back down to the armory, where you'll find medkits and pills on the table. If you're fortunate enough to have been incapped inside the armory, or at least in the doorways, then there is a small chance that you can be defibbed. Realistically, you'll only be able to use this if crawling is enabled on your server though. Now on to one of my favourite parts of the map, the charge out of the hall. Sadly there's no horses, but hey, as long as you've got melee weapons it's cool. Normally there'd be all 4 of you, but I'm on my own in this case because everyone else failed. You just need to keep moving, swiping with your sword, pushing back as you need to. Jumping can be effective if you time it right. Up here under the archway, there's always a pipe bomb, unless you'd used it already when you were here defending the gate. If you grab hold of that, then that'll help you if you're on your own or just with 2 of you. Throw that over the wall, and the zombies will start doing a funky dance where they can't reach it. Use that as a good time to keep making progress. If you time your jumps right here, as you can see, then you can skip over a few obstacles. You might think that this is a good time to use the chainsaw, and I would recommend it, but it tends to be hard to coordinate with people, and people that use it always seem to do more damage to the players rather than to anything else. Once you make it just past this rock, all the zombies and tanks will drop dead. Grab the gas can if it's available. If not, you'll just have to go without. Bring it over here and drop it down by the ramp. It's a good first line defense for what comes next. After a few seconds, the zombies will start flooding in, from behind you and in front. In this playthrough, we hadn't used the bile, so I made use of it. If not, you can just camp out where I'm standing, as you have somewhat a corner that you can defend in with your melee weapon. Momentarily, Gandalf will activate with some white light, and he'll attract all the zombies towards him. Once that happens, all you need to worry about are the tanks. You're not far from the end, so retreat as you need to, make use of the space that you have, and just keep shooting the tanks. If you're feeling a bit daring, and there's more of you, then you can try going up against the tanks toe-to-toe with your melee weapons. It's good fun, but don't risk it too much. Just after 30 minutes, everything will drop dead. Congratulations, you've beaten Helms Deep Reborn. The timer won't stop until you're all dead though, so you are free to wander the map as much as you please. One more major note about this map that seems to be all around the internet still, is why the music was removed from the map. This was done because Serious Samurai, the map's creator, was able to get a deal where he could have his map on the official servers. Unfortunately, despite his best efforts, he was not able to acquire licensing agreement to use the music in the map. This is why it's been removed, not because he wanted to. And with that out the way, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the how-to, and hopefully you can go out and beat the map with all your friends. I'd like to thank NationKid05 for helping me with the recordings, and I'd like to thank Serious Samurai for making an excellent survival map.
I'm gonna test if the oxygen tanks are, if they're bugged on my server. So I'm gonna do a quick test. Yeah, I could do a local.
That may or may not have been me.
Oh my god.
Definitely not me. At all.